This conference will now be recorded.
Hi again, everybody. It's Dr. Gibbons, and I'm here with the second internship presentation. And today we're going to be going over the CAPIC process, which will entail how to register and also what you're supposed to do once you get registered. So there's a couple of steps that you'll have to follow, and I will try to guide you through this slideshow. Also reference the email because I will be attaching the slideshow presentation that I'm using because it has a couple of helpful links within this setting. So the first thing you want to consider for a CAPIC internship is how you're actually going to select an internship site. You can start looking at the sites at capic.net. You want to start to schedule a meeting with your advisor. And then when you're going through the sites, you're going to want to look at a few things. First, the site's competitiveness and their general requirements for application. If it's a highly competitive site, you definitely don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, and you want to make sure that you're meeting their site requirements so that you are a strong candidate in applying for that position. The student frequently asked questions link is going to be a great resource for you, and I encourage you to use this along the whole search of the process, as it is able to actually guide you through everything from start to finish. The Chicago School actually strongly encourages individuals from the applied clinical program to use CAPIC. This is a highly advantaged organization for you because all these site requirements are geared towards licensure in California. Just be aware that there's a couple things to consider. First, you're going to be competing against other applicants from other programs, and they're going to be very competitive. Also, you avoid a lot of the problems that arise with a psych assistant because CAPIC sites have already been board approved. What that means is you don't have to do any additional paperwork for the CAPIC internship. You simply have to upload the application materials onto your ALCEA page once you get through with all those. CAPIC is also known for having well-established programs within their organization. They have met all the requirements for licensure in California, and if you're going through a CAPIC internship, it's a well-respected program to making sure that you're fulfilling the requirements. Remember, it's a 1,500-hour requirement, and you want to make sure that you're getting 40 to 60% direct service hours, as well as 10% of your total time as clinical supervision. If you have questions about an APA accredited internship, you want to try to answer those questions ahead of time. Specifically, if you know that you want to work in a veterans hospital, for example, or a federal prison, you want to make sure that you do meet the requirements for these types of internships ahead of time. Just in general, a few facts about CAPIC. CAPIC is open to all states, and CAPIC is generally less competitive than APIC, although there are a lot of sites that are highly competitive, and these are usually the ones that are provided with a pretty high stipend. Also, please note there are CAPIC sites that are unpaid, and that's the big difference between APIC and CAPIC is that APIC requires payment, but in some CAPIC sites are without pay, so you'll have to weigh the positives and negatives of both of those scenarios as you're moving forward. Here's a few important dates to keep in mind. First, October of this year, sorry, that should say October 2019 registration opens. So that means registration is actually open currently. And then the next CAPIC deadline that you're looking for is the match application deadline. April 2nd is the ranking deadline, and April 6th is the match notification day. This is another outline of the match schedule. So I encourage you to actually print this out and make sure you're adding all these dates into your calendar system on your phone so that you're reminded for these things. Once you're completed with this training internship, you'll know how to do all these application processes. Okay, here's the application process. First step is registering with InternFit. You all listening to this or getting this email have been registered with InternFit, and you've been sent an email from internship with instructions on how to actually complete the registration steps. If you don't know where this email is or you seem to have misplaced it, please check in your spam folder first. If you looked in both of these places and cannot find an internship please email me to send the instructions again for you. Step 2, once you're registered, you're going to complete what they call a SURF form, and this is basically the internship readiness form. It's a form that's filled out by you, and then it's reviewed by the DCT in the program. Also, please note, to qualify for CAPIC, your dissertation proposal must be approved by the time you're registering for these CAPIC sites. The application process is actually pretty straightforward. It requires 2 essays, one an autobiographical statement and one a statement about your theoretical orientation, and it has spaces for 5 references. CAPIC applications do not require transcripts. However, the individual site might ask you for those, so that you want to make sure that those are readily available in case the site asks for them. And initially, there's no cost to sign up for CAPIC. You will need to submit a payment before you're able to look at any of the sites, but you can get these initial information filled out while you're contemplating whether or not you're using the process. Also, a quick note about the 5 reference spaces. Most sites will require 3 letters of recommendation, and I highly encourage you to reach out early to your letter writers so that you're able to get these things turned in ahead of time. It's actually something that they will submit right to this CAPIC, but CAPIC will provide information on how to do that once you're registered. As I already stated, you need to be registered with InternFit in order to complete and register your account. And the 3 things that we've already gone over, the cover letter, the curriculum vitae, and the letters of recommendation are needed. Also, that statement about the dissertation proposal. And then again, the SURF form will be approved by the Director of Clinical Training within the site. In InternFit, this is actually how you're registering for your account. This is the email that you're actually looking for. So you're going to take a look at that email, and then you're going to log into it. You're going to complete your name, password, confirm your password, and then make sure your program and your information is correct, and then you're going to hit sign up. Once you're through, you're going to read the instructions and then go through the fee. Once you're able to successfully submit the payment, you'll be proceeded to the practicum fit to use the application. The student help page link is here again for you, just in case you need information or you have any questions about what the internship fee looks like. I believe it's $200 for the cycle. The $50 fee is just the initial fee, but you'll be required to pay the balance on that, which is about $200. Okay, so when you're looking for sites and building your site list, this is where you're going to host all your sites. It's going to actually be the area where all these sites are listed, and you're going to have a number of sites to which you can apply to. As you'll see the example here, the site names, the description of the site, and then the tracks. And then the Attend to Apply button is what you're going to look at next. The second half of this, if you find a site that you actually want to apply to, you're going to click the green Attend to Apply button so that you're able to associate with the site, and then that checkbox will turn green, and then the number you can apply to will decrease because you're able to apply to 7 in total. You're going to look at the top here, remaining sites list. That's where the number will decrease. And after you click the button there on the right for intending to apply. Step 2, you're going to actually select the tracks that you're interested in applying to. Also, please note you cannot do this track until you've already built your site list. So you want to make sure that you're entering the site list first. Once you put the sites you're applied to, you'll see the site names again, and then your attention to apply. You're going to populate these tracks, and then you're going to select the tracks to which you're going to apply to. When you find this list, you're going to click the green Intend to Apply button, and you're going to select the tracks that you're trying to apply to. Now, this is different than actually selecting the building the sites, because now you're building the sites by selecting the specific track that you want to build into. So again, you're going to click the Intend to Apply button with this track that you're able to apply to. Some sites might have more than one track, so that will decrease another application from the 7 if you apply to more than one track within the same facility. After that, you're going to rank the tracks to which you're interested in applying to or interested in matching to specifically. Again, you cannot do the ranking until you've done the previous 2 tracks, but this is actually where you see the tracks to which you intend to apply, and then you rank them in an order of preference. Quick note about ranking sites here. Do not rank a site if you do not want to go there. The way that the match works for CAPIC is that once you are able to rank the tracks, there is a computer algorithm that the site will rank you and you'll rank the sites, and then you'll actually do a match regardless of the inputs that both of you guys had. And then you want to make sure that you are ranking the sites of your top priority and making sure that you can track this. Now, do as much research as you need to, as these tracks can be reordered, but you want to make sure that that ranking deadline is being met, the one that I showed you earlier before. You can reorder this list by clicking and dragging and dropping it into where the track presides, and then you can move them up and down for what you want to do. Okay, again, here's the important dates to which you need to look. The March 10th is the application deadline. That's to get all the application materials turned in. April 2nd is the CAPIC match rank deadline, and that's the instruction that I already went over. Once you meet those 2 deadlines, then April 6th is the match notification day. This is actually happening right in the morning, and then is immediately after that, on the same day at noon, the CAPIC clearinghouse opens. The CAPIC clearinghouse consists of all the people that didn't get matched and all the sites that didn't find people to match, and you can actually begin registering to these sites with openings on that day. So April 6th, if you do not match, you want to make sure you're taking that day off so that you can actually reapply to different open sites, or at least be available, because as soon as those sites are filled, they're gone. The match notification day and the clearinghouse day is a little bit different, because starting on that day, you can actually apply via email to the sites, and you can actually be matched within a site by itself. I know this is a lot of information, so if you do have any questions, please reach out to us. But we do have a lot of trainings that are held. Also, please reference the frequently asked questions list, and also reach out to us if you have any further questions. To follow the Psych Assistant list, or sorry, instructions will be the 3rd email, and look for that in the next couple days to a week. Take care, everybody.